What's up, everybody? This is Ice Dakota. Welcome to my channel. Today we're just going to talk a little bit about shifting. I was listening to Pastor Michael Todd and Bishop T.D. Jakes. Pastor Michael Todd was talking about vision and how vision comes from above, it comes from God, and how everything we do, including our conversations and the friends we have, should be, vision-based. Like, what is this person adding to my life? What is this conversation adding to my life? Or what am I adding to someone else's life through this person or through this conversation or whatever? Which I think will help us get out of a lot of meaningless relationships, meaningless gossip conversations or stupid conversations, meaningless businesses and jobs, all this good stuff. T.D. Jakes was talking about shifting and when to shift, more importantly. As you see right now, I'm shifting the first gear, the second gear, second, the third, and I hear the bike in higher rev ranges. I'm not sure if you guys could hear that well, but that was me. That was for me shifting too early. Whew. And I had shifted too early at too low of a speed to a higher gear. And I think we do that often in our life. We think that change or moving things up is somehow bettering our life just because it's different. We think that if something is painful, not in terms of like abusive or something like that, but something is painful or difficult, such as God telling us to wait, or putting us in a season where we just have to rely and lean on Him, that somehow means that it's our job to go do something else and do God's job for Him. I know this is something I struggle with. We try so hard to just do stuff. When something's not going our way, we just try to force it and make it work instead of just relying on God. And I don't see how that is any different than just shifting in a motorcycle way too early. Shifting in a motorcycle or a car, really, if you shift too soon, then the speed that you're going, you won't have the power to move from that speed quickly. If you shift at the right time, not only will you be able to keep your momentum, but you'll be able to have more power and more effectiveness in the gear that you have shifted to. And I think it's important that we shift when God tells us to. That way we can shift with momentum, we can shift at the right time and have more impact, as opposed to shifting. This bike has 6 gears, so let's say I shift into 6th gear at 30 miles per hour when I should be in 3rd gear at 30 miles per hour. Eventually, for me to get from 30 to 50, even though around 50 is when I would normally get to 6th gear and when I should have gotten to 6th gear, for me to get from 30 to 50 is now going to be really hard because I've already moved my level way too quickly. Whereas if I stayed in 3rd gear and waited until the speed was up, then I could be in 4th gear and 5th gear, and by the time I get to 6th gear, then I can go up to 100 miles an hour with 6th gear, as opposed to bouncing on the bike from 30 to 50, which is going to take me a long time, but I shifted too soon. And I think sometimes God wants us to wait in 3rd gear, or wait in 2nd gear, because the funny thing is, if you go to 6th gear too soon, and you don't have the chance to just roll on the throttle like this, then you're going to have to go back to 3rd gear anyway, and you just wasted all that time. I think that's what happens to us when we get in the wrong relationship with the wrong person at the wrong time for the wrong reasons. I think we end up backtracking and having to backtrack when we are having meaningless conversations, talking about someone who did something that we'll probably end up doing in the future, because instead of actually learning from them or maybe even talking to them about it, we'd rather have a conversation and, spill the tea or whatever, waste our time talking about them with no fruit coming from that. We don't help the other person, we don't help ourselves. So I just felt, kind of led to talk about shifting today, and hopefully you guys learned something. I know I've been learning something because I'm at a point in my life where I feel like I'm in third gear. I'm tired of hearing third gear. I'm tired of going 30, 35 miles an hour. But I also realize that all the other times I've been tired of being in second gear or first gear, God has somehow used that to parlay me in a way where the place I wanted to go by shifting on my own, not only did God take me there, but he took me so far past there that it was almost a joke that I wanted my will to be done more than God's will. And if you are not a Christian listening to this, I think it still applies to you. I think there can be value gained in it, because the important thing is, at the end of the day, if you shift, if you're trying to level up, or you're moving too quick, you're not building the right way, you're not being patient, you're not making sure that you're having fruitful relationships, fruitful conversations, fruitful work, then you're going to have to backtrack, or you're just going to end up wasting your life away. And life's too short to be wasting it. We were all put here for a reason. So as I'm in a moment of waiting and sitting in third gear, waiting for God to tell me to shift and building and stuff, and again, it's not easy, it sucks, it's monotonous, it's painful, it's confusing, but I encourage you guys to wait for God to tell you to shift, and then when he tells you to shift, go ahead and shift that bad boy, and we're gonna level up that way. We're gonna get to our 100 mile an hour and impact other people along the way. So God bless. Ice the Closer out.